This week on the show.
Are UK staycations still an option if you're desperate for a break right now?
There's a risk. We just don't know whether these restrictions are still going to be in place by Christmas. We don't know whether they might get even tighter.
The sweet taste of America's biggest Japan town. Berlin's big boar problems. And socially distancing in a zombie apocalypse.
Oh my goodness! She can't get in, right?
I've come to Woolacombe Bay Holiday Park on the Devon coast. The weather might not be up to much today, but the seaside below is regularly named among the UK's top beaches. Now currently this is in Tier 1, the medium risk category under Westminster's COVID rankings. The devolved parliaments in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland have each issued their own guidance. In England, the medium risk tier means a 10 p.m. curfew for pubs and restaurants, and the rule of 6 applies inside and out. Travel is permitted. And I have to say, right now, it feels pretty normal.
Yeah, we feel really safe. You've got all the hand sanitisers, everyone's wearing masks, they've got all signs to wear masks, they've got all the QR codes so you can scan everywhere you've been, and it does feel quite safe.
All the hygiene measures, do you think it's affected your holiday at all?
No, not really.
Some areas it's made it a lot easier, to be fair. There's not so many queues, you don't have to go up to the bar and fighting to get served. In that way it's a lot easier.
Did you check about which COVID risk tier this was in? Did you do your research?
Not so much research, but obviously looking at the map of the country, you can clearly see coming further down south is a little bit safer than going more up north. We were actually meant to be in Portugal this week. Obviously, quarantine reasons, we decided England was a safer bet, really.
Obviously, we can't go abroad. We'd have liked to have gone abroad, both of us being teachers, having our half term, but we couldn't. But actually, it's just been lovely. The weather's been really nice, and it's a beautiful setting. So, yeah.
So you've rediscovered the UK.
Yeah, it's been lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really nice place to come.
Yeah.
Over the summer, there was much talk of a surge in so-called staycations. In July, one of the UK's big cottage rental sites, Sykes, reported a 53% year-on-year rise in bookings. But Rudy is careful to play down talk of a COVID boon.
Being closed for half a season, I wouldn't call a benefit, but when we were actually allowed to open from the 4th of July, clearly we could have let the accommodation that we had 3 or 4 times over. We've certainly seen customers that we haven't seen before. Those people who would have been taking a 2-week holiday abroad have been exchanging that for a 2-week holiday now in the UK.
Holiday resorts up and down the country have brought in a range of safety measures, from reducing capacity to introducing timed slots for leisure facilities.
We limit the numbers that can go into the swimming pools. You have to pre-book that, and things like our soft play area here, we've remained closed all this summer.
But now, as coronavirus cases rise nationwide, by drawing people from different areas, do these parks risk spreading the virus?
Well, of course, we're concerned about it. But we've been operating now since the 4th of July without any cases. But I feel that, provided everybody sticks to all the COVID secure measurements that we put in place, we can prevent any cases arising in the area.
Residents in some tourist hotspots have raised concerns about their communities becoming overcrowded. While at a few of the larger chain resorts, there have been reports that distancing hasn't always been properly managed. A number have been forced to shut their doors because of coronavirus restrictions. Haven and Pontins are among the companies to have announced some temporary closures in certain high-risk areas. Ros Pritchard of the British Holiday and Home Parks Association represents 3,000 businesses around the UK, including campsites, caravan parks and even some glamping spots. She says overall that ones that remain open are safe.
Because it's in the business interest to protect everybody, their staff, the local community, their holiday makers. Your units of accommodation, whether you're in a tent or whether you're in a holiday caravan, are 5 to 6 metres apart, and families are kept socially distanced by design. The rest is actually quite simple. It's about giving people the opportunity to wash their hands. It's about ensuring social distancing, and it's about cleaning and cleaning again.
But there's another issue. Even if you decide that it's safe enough to holiday in one of these parks, with the guidelines constantly changing, what happens if you're then prevented from travelling? The restrictions vary across the UK. At the moment, they're most severe in Wales, where non-essential travel during the 5-break lockdown is expressly forbidden. But elsewhere, making sure you're following the right guidance can be tricky.
So you need to check the rules for the area that you're living in and also the area you're travelling to. Then the best thing to do is to speak to the holiday provider, explain to them where you're coming from, see what the restrictions are in their area, get them to have a look at your booking and see whether they think you're still within the law, and then decide whether you still want to go on that holiday. And as I say, most of them are being flexible so that if you can't take the holiday, they will give you a refund or allow you to delay your holiday until a later date, maybe even until next year.
We're approaching December and Christmas time and people like to take holidays. So would you recommend that they take staycations, they book a staycation now?
Well, obviously people are desperate for the holidays and particularly over Christmas. So if you are booking now, there's a risk. We just don't know whether these restrictions are still going to be in place by Christmas. We don't know whether they might get even tighter. So if you are going to book a staycation, then make sure it's a flexible cancellation policy so you can cancel and get a full refund closer to the time. That's all you can do really at the moment.
The latest now in our Untold America season, in which we take a look at some of the people who really make the United States what it is. This week we're in Los Angeles, home to the largest and oldest Japanese community in America.
To be a shokunin in this craft, meaning that you have skills with your hands, it generally takes a minimum of 10 years. I've been doing this for 44 years now. You can consider me a master of mochi. The process of making mochi is generally steaming either rice or rice flour, and it's usually mixed with sugar and then cooled. My grandfather, Seiichi Kito, and my grandmother Tei migrated to Los Angeles from Japan and started this business in 1903. This was the largest population of Japanese American in Southern California. When my dad and my grandfather got to camp in Heart Mountain, Wyoming, they were eating nothing but American food. That's why my grandfather decided to make and mass produce mochi with the help of other detainees, because everybody was hungry for something that was Japanese and something more cultural. It's amazing how the community came together to help my father restart this store. Exactly when I was born, it was reopened. So this store has been here since 1956. I took over the business in 1986. Little Tokyo is a very special place for me. I played on the streets here. My son has two. We grew up here, myself, my son, my father. In my heart, I am Japanese, but I grew up as totally American. Because of the camps, we didn't speak Japanese in the home. And yet, I come back to Little Tokyo to do business. I can go from one side being Japanese, and I can be going to another side and be totally American.
Still to come on the travel show. An old boar, the German naturists, and me.
So we've got a bit deeper into the forest.
How Berlin's boar population made headlines this summer. And spare a thought for the zombies. How to get scares from a hygienic distance.
So don't go away.
It's 6 a.m. in Grunau Forest, southeastern Berlin. It's home to a beast that's been causing uproar in Germany this summer. It all began in May with a group of boars visiting the suburbs, and it continued in a nudist area in western Berlin. Images of both instances quickly went viral.
Any tracks or?
Nothing yet.
Boars are nocturnal creatures, so we're up at dawn to try and spot them.
So we've got a bit deeper into the forest where it's a bit thicker.
Although elusive this morning, boars have been known to dig up football fields, attack dogs, and on rare occasions, even humans.
So are the boar dangerous? If we give one a fright, will it charge us or?
Well, in a direct encounter, they can of course be dangerous. They may have up to 200 kilograms of weight, but usually they just try to avoid us.
Although no one knows the exact figure, over 1,000 boars are thought to live in Berlin. And with around 20% of the city covered in forests, they've got plenty of space to roam.
We can see one of their favorite food sources, lots of acorns. And you know, there could be a boar now just 10 meters in front of us and you wouldn't see it. They are well camouflaged. So yeah, but still it's amazing that such a big animal is able to kind of disappear right in front of our eyes.
Although forests provide ideal shelter, boars survive in urban areas too. And this year, like the rest of us, they've adapted to a new normal.
In the beginning of the lockdown in Germany, there were wildlife just entering city areas, using spaces that they usually were not using because of human presence.
So no sign of any boar, but we're
actually,
hoping. Oh,
we have a sign of a boar.
we have a sign of a boar.
Yeah,
We have a sign of a boar.
We have traces there. Let's have a look. Yep.
Okay.
What you see here is very typical. So you can imagine why they can cause a lot of damage to public green space. So when you look at that.
You think you're going to tracking animals, it's going to be like tiny little paw prints, footprints. No, it's just this absolute chaos.
When it comes to finding food, boars are known to be resourceful. And unlike other urban wildlife, they don't just dig through the rubbish bins. Instead, they've discovered a more productive way.
So I was sitting the whole day on the computer and I thought I have to have a swim now. And when I came out of the lake, then I saw these boars and I wanted to take a picture. So the boar came and grabbed this yellow bag and I didn't know, but the man said, "This is my computer." And he just ran to get his computer back. As a life coach, I'm always looking for stories where people are focused, where they stay focused and really achieve what they want. And this man, he stayed focused and he just ran. And I think this is a great success story. He is really a hero to me. He is a winner.
Adele posted the pictures on social media and forgot about the incident until her phone started ringing.
the whole world, the whole press called me. So the next 3-4 days, I really had to answer questions. I had to give radio interviews. I was very, very surprised that this story became so viral.
People started coming here to Teufelsee Lake to catch a glimpse of the boar, and they gave her the name Elsa.
Look here, that's a male, big one.
Wildlife expert Dirk Ehrlich knows the lake's most famous resident personally.
So tell me a bit about Elsa. When she grabbed somebody's laptop bag, I presume it had food in there, right?
She wants to go on, I'm sure. Yeah, sure, it's food. It was in front of, there was some bread or so inside, she smelled, and she wants to eat it directly, but the man was coming too close, so she preferred to go away because she wants to save her food.
Of course, Elsa's not the only boar in these woods. 65 of them live in the area.
Come on, let's walk there on the right side. Maybe we have luck. Here's a green place for the people, and look here, come on. I think she's not there, but here you can see here like a nest, you know, like a bird.
Yeah.
It's typical for wild boars. They prefer to live here, to sleep here in the day, but I cannot smell her. First, if you see a wild boar in parks on the forest, stop, don't worry, be happy, take your phone, make a photo, and please don't give food to the animal, don't give food. And wait some minutes, maybe 1 minute or so, and if you're alone, talk with the wild boars, because it is very important that they know that you are there.
Although Elsa and her friends have stayed hiding today, there are places where you're almost guaranteed a sighting. Wildlife sanctuaries like this one in Spandau Forest are here to help people feel connected to nature. And unlike in the wild, feeding here is allowed.
Do you come down here often to feed the boar with your family?
Also für die Kinder ist es natürlich perfekt. Also es macht mir viel Spaß und ja, das ist einfach schön. Sie freut sich total darüber. Es macht dann Spaß, ihr zuzugucken.
It's been a bit of a learning curve, but Germans are finding ways of living cheek by jowl with their hungry neighbours. So if you find yourself face to face with the boars of Berlin, remember to treat them like the wild animals they are. And hold on tight to your packed lunch. Finally, we're off to Japan, with Halloween celebrations looking a little different this year. The world's zombies, vampires and mummies have been left scratching their heads about how to offer up scares while remaining at a social distance. Carmen's been to one haunted house that reckons it might have just solved the problem.
I am in a car in an unmarked garage somewhere in Tokyo. At least I think I am. It's hard to be sure about anything anymore. The lights have gone off and I have no idea what is happening. I should warn you, I have a very nervous disposition. Ruzo, can you make sure your door's locked?
Yeah, it's locked. Oh, no, it's not locked.
Oh my God, lock the door, lock the door! Ah! What's that?
It's the radio.
I'm really, really scared.
So it is said that in an old garage in Tokyo, there is some mysterious occurrence.
What's that noise? I can't look! I can't look! I don't want to look! Do you know what? I don't think I'll ever go into a garage again. This is a haunted house, but not as you know it, because this is actually a haunted drive-in. In a time of COVID-19, a group of actors here, well, at least I hope they're actors, have come up with a socially distanced, immersive, scary experience. Oh my goodness, look at him!
That's what she was running away from.
He's so scary! And when I say scary, I'm not joking. Is he dead? Did Did she kill him? Oh my goodness, I can't look. It runs like a short play and the story is told on the radio. The organisers say they're still working on an English version, so my friend Ryuzo has come along for the ride to help with any words I don't know and some much needed moral support. Ryuzo, can I hold your hand?
Okay, sure. Someone's coming! Someone's coming, she says. Please.
They say it was inspired by some of the other drive-in entertainment experiences that have sprung up around the world during COVID-19. Oh my God, this is awful! This is
She's begging for help.
Oh my goodness!
Come in.
She can't get in, right? I don't want to look. Badly in need of a break, I've stepped out of the car to talk to one of the actresses about this unique horror experience.
そうですね。やっぱりお客様に直で届かない分、今までよりも大きく動きを作らなきゃいけないので、こうまず手を広げてみる、口を大きく開けてみる、目をガッと開けてみる。一つ一つ体を大きく動かすようにっていうトレーニングはしていましたね。そうですね。すっごい素敵な反応を毎回いただいております。
Okay, so make sure my eyes and my mouth are really big, like.
素晴らしい。
Okay, is this the look I'm going for?
アナウンスが終わったら。
So leap onto the car. So now that I look the part and I know my moves, it's time to rejoin the story for the next customer. I don't know who she is, but I've heard that she's very nervous. Wow, that was really a surreal experience. It's not every day you're asked to leap on a blood-splattered car and scare people inside. I'll definitely boil that down to an only in Japan moment. But I'm not sure I could do it day in, day out as my job.
Well, that's it from us this week, but do join us next week when
I'll be looking back at some of the best cultural experiences we've had on the show over the years, like when Addie tried improvised comedy in New York.
You asked for a 7-story bronze statue of yourself. That's modest.
It's beautiful, though.
And when Mike went behind the scenes at Rio's Carnival.
I don't know what I'm doing, but maybe that's half the fun.
And don't forget to follow us in all the usual places. On Twitter and Facebook, we're BBC Travel, and on Instagram, we're BBC Travel Show. Until next time, from me, Krista Larwood, and the rest of the Travel Show team here in Germany, it's goodbye.